personal goals you have for this year?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely being starting an All-Star game, you know, being first team All-NBA, MVP talks, obviously, and winning as many games as possible. Want to get in the playoffs.
The NBA is definitely expanding around the world and getting really popular
Absolutely.
in a lot of other countries. Is there one country that you've been to already where you feel like you have the most fan love?
Definitely Denmark.
Okay.
I went to Denmark last summer, and
That's random.
Yeah, Denmark was amazing. You know, I love the people out there. You know, they showed me a lot of love out there, and I would definitely go back.
Is there any country that you haven't been to that you really want to hit?
China.
Okay.
China for sure.
Big basketball culture there.
Definitely would love to go to China.
And recently, you have also been named as an
It's the city of brotherly love, home of the Liberty Bell, where the 76ers are looking to take on a Western Conference opponent. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Taking a look at Portland.
And for the Trailblazers, they were a team. That no one knew quite what to make of entering the season. But as the years gone on, it's become clear they're legit contenders.
Abundantly clear. I mean, they can compete with any team in the league, and I think they still have some upside, room for improvement.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Thanks, guys. Well, look, the Trailblazers are a promising young team. They've gone through their growing.
Thanks, David. What a leader Lillard has become for this team. The Blazers' future is certainly bright with him at the helm. Which is experimenting here, Clark, early in the season, and they're trying to feel which rotations work and which ones don't.
Well, that's normal for coaches to tinker a little bit, especially when you've got new players and you're trying to put together a different team. So you tinker until you find what works for you, and then you look to stay with it. Ideally, you'd like to be set on your rotation probably no later than a fourth of the way through the season.
The starters for the Portland Trailblazers. Lillard and McCollum, the star-studded backcourt. Harkless and Aminu, your small and power forwards. And it's Nurkic in at the pivot, manning the middle. And Redick kicks to Embiid. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Saric, the basket good off the assist from Simmons.
Just a tremendous feel for the game. Simmons is so gifted at reading the floor.
And Lillard kicks to Aminu. They set the screen. Back to Lillard. And it's Lillard again missing. And so here is Philadelphia. Redick with it. Lillard picks him up. Redick against Lillard. A floater and the nice bucket inside from Redick.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Here's McCollum. Really played well against Memphis in his last outing. Screen by Nurkic. Just 5 to shoot, and it's McCollum in the corner. Shoots over Covington. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
And the 3-ball is good.
And Redick drains these shots constantly. I mean, senses and feels the separation and then capitalizes on it.
Now here's McCollum, one of the most consistent producers in the league. He's averaging around 25.5 points a game.
That has to be a relief. First bucket was a long time coming.
And they knew they'd bury one eventually. I mean, just a matter of time. Let's see if they can build on that.
Philadelphia with the ball. The Blazers getting the bucket. Redick with it, now defended by McCollum. Here's Simmons. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Simmons got his first 2 points of the night.
And this is how you want to start the ball game. 4 for 4 from the field. Seems like they're right on point and can't miss.
McCollum, no good.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Redick with it. He's got 5. There's the pick. And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That's his first foul. On defense, the Trailblazers, they trail by 7. Embiid the screen. Clock at 6. Shoots over Nurkic. Again, Philadelphia.
And Embiid is not shy now. Always going to shoot it when he has space.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
That's a 2 from Lillard. Saric grabs the board. The 76ers leading by 9. Pass to Simmons. Saric with the screen for Simmons. Embiid with the screen on Aminu. Embiid the screen. Here's Covington with the tip, and Embiid is right there.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. And for Joel Embiid, some real tough times to start his NBA career. Greg sidelined, as we know, for the first 2 seasons with injuries. And just when he got going in season 3, he was dealt a knee injury.
Yeah, it has not been easy. And remember, Joel Embiid is so competitive. They came to the game late, but fell for it hard. And this is what he lives for, to be out on the court helping his team compete.
Now here's McCollum. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. McCollum's got 5 now.
Yeah, you know, Lillard has been so good at finding the open man, puts a lot of zip on his passes, and he knows he's responsible for getting his teammates the ball.
Here's Covington. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. The feed to Embiid. Embiid sets the pick for Redick. Embiid the screen. Offensive rebound. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. 6 points for him.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it. Hey, I tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
It's Saric, top of the key, to the middle. Goes up on the high post. He's off on that one, so the Trailblazers will take it the other way. Here is Lillard, a dependable source of points for his team, averages just under 24 points a game. The shot by Harkless, no good. Philadelphia leading by 7. Outside, Simmons. Screen by Saric. Lillard dishes to Nurkic. And Embiid with the block.
Solid read from Embiid there. Terrific at anticipating when that shot is coming.
Trailblazers trail by 7. Here's McCollum. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Embiid the screen. There's the dish to Covington. Kicks it to Simmons. Now the pass to Embiid. Here's Saric. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And this is what you get with Embiid. A real scrapper, even though he's a big, skilled, talented guy. He's an energy guy as well.
Now, here's Lillard. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. They set the pick. Dishes it to McCollum. Shoots over Embiid. And the shot falls short this time. The 76ers leading by 7. Outside, Redick. He feeds it to Embiid. Screen by Saric. Nurkic with the steal. Aminu, no one around him. His first attempt of the game finds the target. And Philadelphia has possession. Outside, Simmons. Embiid with the screen on Lillard. Covington kicks to Saric. He's looking for Embiid and finds him. Lets it go. Again, the miss by Saric. Trailblazers trail by 5. Now Lillard. Here's the screen. He kicks it to Aminu. His three-pointers off the mark. 76ers have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Outside, Simmons. Back to Covington. Screen by Saric. Covington kicks to Embiid. 5 to shoot. Shoots over Nurkic. The 76ers again can't hit it.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Aminu with a screen for Lillard. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got his 6th rebound on the night.
Well, he's holding his team back. Really a hindrance. Can't make a thing. He's way off today.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? You like their effort level here in the early going. I mean, they're really making things happen for themselves.
Now, here's Lillard. Looking for his first basket still in this one.
Boy, I love watching Lillard turn on the Jets using that astounding speed to blaze past the defenders.
There's a screen. And Simmons kicks to Redick. Embiid in the corner. Outside, Simmons. Embiid the screen. Simmons passes to Saric. Count it. Good. Saric has got his second basket.
I like the unselfishness of Embiid, doing whatever he can to win, including setting brick wall screens.
McCollum kicks to Nurkic. Now here's Harkless. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And the basket by McCollum.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
A lot of losing in Philadelphia. Just 47 wins over 3 seasons from 2013 to 2016. That's the second worst 3-year stretch in NBA history.
And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Amir Johnson's checked in for Embiid. Richaun Holmes comes in for Saric. Anderson, he's checked in for Robert Covington. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Simmons. Now, here's McConnell. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Holmes, that's a screen. Here's Anderson. The teardrop falls in. And Clark, for the Sixers, it seems they're finally headed in the right direction.
Well, I think that's the benefit of patience and all of those high draft picks, Kevin. I mean, some people don't like how they did it, but they rebuilt the roster from the ground up, and I think it gives them a strong foundation going forward.
Here's McConnell. Portland knocking down that triple moments ago. Holmes, that's a screen. Redick for three. Connects from three-point range. Redick's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Philadelphia. Here's Napier. There's the screen. Davis sets a screen. Napier passes to Connaughton. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Now here's Anderson. Holmes, that's a screen. Pass to McConnell. From the wing. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And it's an 8-point 76ers lead.
And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first on the offensive glass.
And those putback baskets contributing to their lead, Greg.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
Here's Napier. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Anderson. And it's Portland with the rebound.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
Here's Napier. Davis sets a screen. Passes it to Connaughton. And that does it for the first quarter. 76ers lead by 8. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with...
I think I'll forever be associated.
There's no doubt that he is Mr. Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success, Greg, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
You know, and listen, I have the utmost respect for J.J. and Coach K and what they've done there. And listen, you could be known for a lot worse things in your life and haven't gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been, Kevin. I think it's about where he's going and what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. What stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment to offensive rebounding.
And you know what, Greg? It looks like they have an advantage there. I mean, I liked how they've made an effort, really a concentrated effort, to hit that glass.
Here are the 5 Portland has to start the second quarter. They've got Napier. Vonleh is out there with Evan Turner. And there's Davis. And it's Connaughton in at the 2 spot. Now here's Anderson. Up top, Holmes. Pass to McConnell. Lets a floater go. He lays it in. McConnell's got his second basket of the night.
Nice looking floater there, Kevin. Such a fast shot, a quick release. Really hard to guard that.
Off the screen. Count it. And the 76ers lead has been cut down to 8 on the bucket from Napier. And Brett Brown, such a great fit in Philadelphia. He loves the town, loves the game, loves to coach. He says about the town, Clark, it reminds him of his hometown.
Well, that's nice to hear because he does embody a lot of the grit that come to know and expect from Philadelphians. I mean, it reminds him of where he's from. He's faced the media through tough times. He's always candid and forthright. And he's coaching with a long lens, as he put it, building towards something great. And, man, I tell you, that passion and enthusiasm just oozes out of him, which is pretty cool to see.
Here's Napier. Outside Turner fires the three, and that one is off. Now the 76ers take it the other way.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
Now Anderson, after the missed three from Evan Turner. A shot by McConnell, no good. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Napier. He's covered by McConnell. Connaughton. That three off the mark.
Even with every shot clanging off the rim, he seems determined to keep hoisting up these threes. It might be time to get inside of that arc.
Okafor is checked in for the 76ers. On defense, the Trailblazers. 11-point game. Picked by Okafor. McConnell kicks to Redick. Here's Holmes. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Really active down there, imposing his will and force and seeing his efforts pay off.
And the pass to Connaughton. He dishes it to Vonleh. Okafor with the steal. And now Philadelphia on the break. Redick's got the ball. Redick can't get that one to fall. Trailblazers trail by 13. Here's Napier. To the paint. Davis dishes to Vonleh. Shot clock at 6. Looking to end the drought, and Okafor with the block.
Boy, I love the defensive game of Okafor. He's got a wide reach, and that allows him to get to a lot of shots.
Robert Covington's checked in for J.J. Redick. Now, here's McConnell, guarded closely, and Anderson gets it to go. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for Philadelphia.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots. A key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is working hard on the offensive glass. They've had a number of putbacks.
Clock at 6. Here's Turner, and it's Turner finishing it off.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Here's Covington after the Trailblazers pick up 2. Holmes kicks to Anderson. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Here's Okafor. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Jahlil Okafor, the 3rd overall pick in 2015 out of Duke. He was in the conversation for top pick overall.
Yeah, he certainly was, and deservedly so. Now, his value has fallen off a bit since coming into the league, but with big guys, you got to be patient. Don't discard him yet. He's a very polished scorer and a good finisher around the goal. He's got to improve some other areas, but this guy's going to be around for a long time.
Ben Simmons, he's checked in for Anderson. Portland also making some changes. Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Noah Vonleh. McCollum comes in for Pat Connaughton. And Lillard subbed in for Shabazz Napier. Here's Simmons. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far.
Simmons absolutely in his comfort zone near the rim. I mean, uses his body extremely well and typically gets exactly the kind of shot he wants.
Now here's McCollum. He's got 10. They set the screen. Lillard with no one around. A 3-pointer, no good.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And so here is Philadelphia. Okafor, the pass to Covington. Bangs home the trifecta. Covington's got 5.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money. That's no doubt. And it's slammed in by Davis.
Well, I'd have to say Lillard is one of the game's best passers right now.
Outside, Simmons. Holmes sets a screen. Covington against Turner. Covington with it. 5 points in the game. 4 on the clock. And it's Okafor missing.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling. And that's how you do it. Well done.
And a wide open look for McCollum. A three-pointer off the mark. The 76ers leading by 18. And here's Covington from the arc. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
Lillard outside. Davis sets a screen. McCollum right side. Again, McCollum missing.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
And Simmons kicks to Covington. Holmes sets a screen. And Al-Farouq Aminu gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. And then for the Trailblazers, Jusuf Nurkic comes in for Ed Davis. And Maurice Harkless subbed in for Evan Turner. Now here's Okafor. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game. McConnell passes to Embiid. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. 10 points for Joel Embiid.
Really like seeing Embiid exert his will, be assertive here. I mean, getting whatever shot he wants inside.
And here's McCollum for 3. Again, McCollum missing.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be terribly deflating for the opposition. Boy, they look helpless. Really getting beat up, physically and emotionally.
Lillard attacking over in the corner, Harkless. Looking to end the run, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Simmons against Lillard. Outside, Simmons. Feeds it to Embiid. Basket good. Embiid's got 12 points in the game.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Here is Lillard. Shoots from the baseline. Again, McCollum missing.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Well, Clark, your whole career, you were a fantastic rebounder. Really at all levels you played it. With that in mind, who do you think are some of the best rebounders right now in the NBA?
Well, for me, it's all about the consistency of getting rebounds at both ends of the floor, and I tend to lean towards those guys that get a bunch of offensive rebounds. So in that regard, Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, Andre Drummond, those guys are tenacious and highly productive on the offensive board.
And the 76ers making a change here. Charge is checked in, and the first one drops.
I like the shiftiness of McCollum. I mean, feels like he can get any shot he wants to. Very efficient as a guard.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. McConnell kicks to Covington. No good with the triple. The Trailblazers shooting just 29% in the second quarter. The offense is suffering. And stolen by McConnell. Charge has the open look. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. McConnell's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Screen by Nurkic. Lillard against Simmons. And the shot goes in. Lillard's got his second bucket of the night.
And, you know, Damian Lillard has such a quick release. Excellent at getting his shot up and over the defense inside.
At the elbow with Saric. Here's Simmons. Some solid defense from Lillard. McCollum outside. And there's a minute 45 left now here in the second.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Simmons dishes to Covington. And stolen by Lillard. In it goes. That's his third bucket. He's missed 5 so far.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
Covington with it. Guarded now by Harkless. Portland grabs the miss. Nurkic has got his third rebound tonight. Lillard outside. Top the key, Aminu. Portland moving the ball around. Again, McCollum missing.
I think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
Embiid kicks to Simmons. Got a piece of it. The Trailblazers shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively. Lillard against Simmons. Lillard attacking. Kicks it out to McCollum for the three. Simmons pulls it in.
Yeah, and that three-point shot, it really has looked awful here in the second quarter. It hasn't stopped him from attempting them, but it's time to maybe find something else to do.
The feed to Saric. They set the pick. McConnell passes to Embiid. Tries to snap the cold streak. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. 76ers ahead, just dominating this one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. It was Joel Embiid who got hot in the first. He had 12 points, 2 block shots, and 8 rebounds. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
They're just pulling down rebounds at will. Their aggressiveness has been dynamite, flying in from all angles. With rebounding, you assume that everything is a miss.
That'll do it for now.
A statue of William Penn at the top of City Hall, welcoming you back to the historic city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia has gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight, 50% exactly. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So on the floor for Philadelphia, Redick and Covington make up the perimeter. Saric is out there with Embiid, and it's Simmons in at the point. There's the pick, and Lillard kicks to McCollum. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession. Lillard outside. Aminu with a screen on Simmons. Lillard, went in there and tried to power it down, but true contact, he'll head to the line. Clark, you know we like to reach out to the fans and have them send in questions, so I've got one right now. Here's Alex in Ohio, of all places. He asks, what sport other than basketball are you best at?
I specialized early, Alex. I was a decent athlete, had good hands, could catch and throw a football pretty well, but didn't like the contact there. Right now, I'm actually just a good workout guy, and I'm trying to become a better than average golfer.
Philadelphia's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Screen by Saric. Covington with it. Guarded now by Harkless. Nurkic with the block. And it was not a clean block. Whistle blows and a foul on the defender here. It's a shooting foul, so free throws will be coming up.
Man, I tell you what, I love how Embiid doesn't shy away from contact. He's skilled at finding ways to get to that foul line.
And guys, the big fellas don't always capture the fans' imagination. But Clark, having that charisma makes a difference, and Joel Embiid has plenty of that.
Yes, he does. Charming and funny. I mean, from his love of Shirley Temple to his aspiration of learning to be a point guard, you never know quite what's going to come out of Joel's mouth. And he's enjoying social media, too. You got to be careful there, though.
You're right. McCollum, and there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That's foul number 2 for him.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
And Simmons kicks to Saric. The dish now to Covington. Aminu against Saric. And he banks in the layup. Saric has got 9.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, just a real lack of aggressiveness there right now. I mean, can't give up these types of layups to begin the quarter, Greg. I mean, that's a no-no.
McCollum, no good.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And for the Trailblazers, they're shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. The Trailblazers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line.
Harkless hits them both. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. There's a good screen. Saric with the screen for Simmons. Embiid the screen. Kicks to Covington. Redick for 3. Good on the triple. He's got 11.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
McCollum, no good.
And, you know, they don't have it right now. I mean, missing their first 3 shots so far this half, slow start.
Now here's Covington, defended by Harkless. Screen by Saric, 6 to shoot. And Simmons kicks to Saric. 7-foot shot. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Boy, did he burrow his way in there, and the D just sort of backed off.
Lillard against Simmons. Goes up on the wing, and the basket by Lillard. Lillard's got 10.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the 3rd.
And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And the 76ers with some changes. Johnson comes in for Joel Embiid. And it's Anderson in for Robert Covington. Ed Davis is checked in for Portland. Napier comes in for Lillard. Anderson the screen. And the wide open shot from Redick. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 6 assists in the game. In the 3rd quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. It's McCollum on the wing. And they come right back with their own 3-pointer.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
It's Redick on the wing. Now here's Simmons. He's tightly guarded. And it's Portland with the rebound. Dishes to McCollum. Lets it go from the wing. And Aminu kicks to Harkless. Back to Aminu. There's the pick. He feeds it to Harkless. Over Saric, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. And that's now 7 points for Harkless. Outside, Simmons. He kicks it to Saric. It's Redick on the wing. He's guarded by McCollum. The drive by Redick. Portland grabs the miss. Davis has got 4 rebounds in this game. Down low, it's tipped. Stolen by Anderson. Redick dishes to Simmons. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Saric passes to Anderson. Fires from 18, and it's Saric. That time on the assist by Anderson. Saric has got 6 here in this quarter. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Philadelphia.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
And the basket by McCollum.
And with that 3, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
And Redick kicks to Simmons. Screen by Saric. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And Ben Simmons said he didn't take a lot of outside shots in college because he didn't need to. He could get to the rim pretty much at will.
Well, he'll find that will not be the case at this level. His shots inside will be challenged a lot more. His perimeter shot has been the question mark, and that's where I think he's got to improve.
And Ben Simmons, who was the first pick in 2016 out of LSU, probably the most heralded player to come out of that school since the great Shaquille O'Neal. And I tell you what, Simmons has drawn some comparisons to some other greats, most notably LeBron James and Magic Johnson.
Connaughton passes to Vonleh. Right side Davis. And stolen by Simmons. Here's Henderson. Can't connect from short range. The Trailblazers have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. And Greg, the Sixers want to ease him into it, but they see Ben Simmons not just as a point forward, but a point guard as well.
And he's got all the ability. Think about this. The Sixers haven't had a player 6'10 or taller average over 3 assists since Wilt Chamberlain back in 1967. The second they drafted Simmons, you knew that would change.
And Anderson kicks to Simmons. Johnson dishes to Simmons. And it goes down 2 points. Simmons got 11.
Excellent precision and focus from Simmons. Feeling nobody can guard him down on the block, and he's right most of the time.
They set the pick. Davis sets a screen. Here's Connaughton from outside off the mark.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Johnson up top. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
Yeah, another turnover. But guys, on the whole, I think they've done a great job of running their offense without too many miscues.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Turner passes to Napier. Connaughton kicks to Vonleh. Pass to Turner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Anderson. Portland again missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Cole. He's off on that one. And the Trailblazers going the other way. They'll be off to Brooklyn for a meeting with the Nets after this one. That puts them squarely in the middle of this 5-game road trip. Napier dishes to Vonleh. A rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Redick passes to McConnell. Feeds to Anderson. Holmes sets a screen. Passes it to Redick. Fires the 3. Kept alive. And it's sent back by Turner. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Clark, you were a strong free throw shooter when you played. Why do some big men have such a hard time being at least serviceable at the free throw line?
Well, I'm not as big as some of the biggest guys that have the most trouble. Typically, you see guys north of 6'8", 6'9", struggling tremendously from the line in general. And because of that, I think sometimes it's the mechanics of shooting the ball, and big hands can sometimes be a hindrance to that. Oftentimes, it's a matter of how much do you work at it. And how soon do you start working at it? A lot of times big guys tend to focus on their post moves and scoring the ball close to the bucket and not as much as shooting. But you're seeing more and more big guys with sweet strokes, and I think it's a matter of, again, basic fundamentals, mechanics, and then putting in hours and hours and hours of work on it.
And it's Okafor missing. The Trailblazers have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. Here's the screen. Here's Napier. He's covered by McConnell. Basket counts.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
And Redick kicks to Holmes. Pass to Anderson. Okafor in the post. Davis is on it. And it's Okafor missing.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Napier passes to Connaughton. No good with the triple. Philadelphia's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Okafor sets the pick for Anderson. Okafor dishes to Anderson, and Redick kicks to McConnell. Drops it in from 11 feet. McConnell's got 9.
How about that? Redick showing the same kind of accuracy on that pass as he has on his three-point shots, which is quite remarkable. That's how you drop a dime, though.
They set the pick. And it's Napier missing.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
And McConnell gets it to go. He's got 11.
Well, I tell you what, I like the clip he's shooting at. Extremely effective. If you're on defense now, you got to get the ball out of his hands.
Davis sets a screen. The pass to Connaughton. He dishes it to Vonleh. Portland moving the ball around. Here's Connaughton, covered by Okafor. From the corner. Here's Vonleh. And there's the bucket. Stand with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Vonleh's got his first points of the night. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync. And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Redick passes to Holmes. Now the feed to Anderson. Sinks the three-pointer.
Nice to see Anderson working on his perimeter game. I mean, when he shoots with confidence, he's lethal.
Here's Napier. Over in the corner, Turner. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so it's Philadelphia out there all by themselves. With a 32-point lead to end the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We've got more in store for you right after this. And let's listen to head coach Terry Stotts review the game plan with his guys.
We haven't given up any resistance.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Trailblazers shooting a meager 37% for the game. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth. They've got Turner. Myers Leonard is out there with Vonleh. And it's Napier in at the point guard position. And Turner kicks to Vonleh. Shot clock at 6. Napier dishes to Leonard. Over Okafor. And it's Leonard missing. Looking at the Trailblazers, they took the last win in their last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. A nice shot by Anderson.
Man, gotta like the confidence of Anderson inside, showing excellent patience and a nice soft touch near the rim.
Here's Connaughton. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
That's unacceptable shot selection there, Kevin. I mean, why on earth did he think that was a good look?
And Anderson has it in the corner. And Bayless kicks to Stauskas. Well, we know just how athletic the NBA has become since its inception. Clark, even from when you play, just how much faster and stronger has the game become?
I would say if we were going to try to put a percentage on it, I think it's grown 60–70% in terms of athleticism. And a lot of it is attributable to the training advances that have been made in sports science and sports medicine and sports performance. And that's benefited and aided the players greatly. And then you have players that have really bought into nutrition and year-round maintenance of their bodies and taking advantage of this technology to enhance performance. And then it becomes a herd mentality. More and more of the guys are doing it, and more of them are benefiting from this enhanced training. So I'd say it's at least 70% better than 30 years ago.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Napier passes to Leonard. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive, Greg. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
Leonard hits them both. We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Now here's Bayless, covered by Lillard, and Bayless kicks to Anderson. There's the screen. To the paint. It's stolen by Aminu. Lillard dishes to McCollum. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. And that's now 20 points for C.J. McCollum. 76ers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Here's Stauskas. Anderson outside. 5 to shoot. From 12 feet out. No good off the front iron. Well, it was the 76ers, their last game, a loss to Utah. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, Clark, the idea of player loyalty has been a topic the last few years. From your view, do you think players have an obligation to stick with the team that drafted them if they can?
I'd like to see that happen, Kevin. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, and personally, I think it's cool to see guys hang with the team that drafted them as long as they can move forward towards their aspirations and goals individually and as a team. I also never begrudge players that after a time decide they'd like to explore a different opportunity with a different team for whatever the reasons might be that drive that. But traditionally and personally, I like to see players be one-team players if all of the circumstances that lend itself to that being productive are in place.
Here's Saric. Here's Okafor. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, never giving up on the glass and getting an easy bucket as a result. Persistence paying off for Okafor.
Amir Johnson's checked in for the 76ers. Lillard outside. There's the dish to Harkless. McCollum outside. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And he knocks down the first one. And so McCollum nails both of them. And referee play review is something that is still relatively new in the NBA. Clark, do you think it should be expanded?
I think we should continue to modify and refine it and be careful to not look to overdo it. But we also want to make sure we're using it productively and prudently. So we modify it, refine it, evaluate it each year, and try to make really good use of it in the areas where it can be most effective in enhancing the calls that are made in the game.
Plays it up and banks it in. McCollum's got 13 points in the second half.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
With some arc and a lot of contact on that one.
Shots,
so
gentlemen.
he'll shoot two here.
You know, when Stauskas has the ball in his hands, he's really looking to score. He wants to shoot, especially when the defense is being over-aggressive with him. He takes that as a personal challenge.
No good on the second free throw. Clark, when you played, you were the classic power forward. Forwards now are asked to do so much in terms of skill set on the floor. Just how much has that forward position changed in the last few decades?
You know, in some ways, Kevin, it's become a little more specialized. I mean, you have wing players now that fall into that small forward category. But guys between 6'6" and 6'10" now are playing on the wing, which means you've got to be able to move your feet and defend. Versatile players at that position. You've got to be able to handle the ball and make plays ideally, get shots, score the ball, and rebound effectively. So that's always been, I thought, the 2 and 3 positions, which are wings now. Those positions are the most demanding in the league in terms of both sides of the ball. The power forward position has become somewhat like that now because of the size and versatility and skill set of so many of those bigger players. But I think the demands are pretty much the same. The one thing that changed is the fact that you have to play out on the floor more and in space, which means you've got to be a little more athletic if you're going to be part of a small ball lineup.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Philadelphia's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Johnson sends the screen for Anderson. Johnson kicks to Stauskas. Back to Johnson. Anderson outside. Okafor sets the pick for Anderson. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Now Lillard. Over in the corner, Harkless. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. And Anderson kicks to Stauskas. With the versatility of modern players and the switching that goes on in defensive schemes, Clark, are traditional NBA positions meaning less and less in the game now?
I think we're finding that more teams are playing close to positionless basketball in many ways. So positions aren't nearly as important as skill sets with your 5 players on the floor. I think that's what you look at when you field your team.
Here's Lillard. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
And for someone who spends most of his time on the perimeter, Lillard's a terrific finisher inside. His moves to the basket aren't tentative. They are strong.
Picked by Okafor. Stauskas kicks to Anderson. And it's Bayless in the corner. Okafor, the pass to Anderson. Great that time from Leonard.
Kevin, I like the defense there. I mean, they didn't make that easy, and he definitely seemed intimidated by the defenders.
Screen by Nurkic. Lillard attacking. Nurkic in the post, covered by Okafor. Another shot, and Nurkic lays it in.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams second shots like that.
Stauskas kicks to Anderson. Back to Stauskas. Anderson the screen. Dishes it to Bayless. Picked by Okafor. Jumper off the screen. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got his 4th rebound in this one. Lillard attacking. No good there. And Philadelphia the other way now. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. Left side, Anderson.
Yo, Bayless.
Bayless dishes to Stauskas. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Now here's Bayless. He's covered closely. Nurkic with the steal. Now here's Lillard. And Clark, we've heard the term empty stats for players that put up big numbers but didn't impact the game to the same level of those numbers. What do you think about empty stats?
I'm mixed on empty stats. Clearly some stats impact winning more than others, but in this day of analytics, some of the stats that apparently document impact in winning may be overdone as well. Statistics are statistics. They're part of the game, and you evaluate them in the context of a number of variables. So they're here to stay. Empty is probably too strong because they're part of the game.
Timeout called, the 76ers.
And not surprising, obviously unhappy with the lack of response from his team.
Can't blame him. I mean, the effort hasn't been there, just has not been there. Hopefully, he can get the fire lit.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Joel Embiid.
And he's put on a terrific show of skill in the paint. A combination of moves, footwork, and that soft touch down low. It's all added up to one dominant performance for the big fella.
And maybe him having a game like this will get things turned around for him because almost nothing has been going their way lately. And the 76ers with a completely new group now. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Myers Leonard. The 76ers with another miss. For Portland, they've gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the 4th, right around 46-47%. Kicks to Harkless. McCollum against Redick, and it's McCollum off the drive. Lays it up and banks it in. McCollum's got 35.
And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
And Simmons kicks to Saric. Back to Simmons. Screen by Saric. Embiid against Nurkic. Outside, Redick. Shot to end this cold run. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Portland's gone 4-7 with the long ball here in the 4th quarter. Simmons against Lillard. And Clark, the topic of the need for league parity is something that's come up the last few years. Is that necessary for a healthy NBA?
I don't think so, Kevin. I mean, you can have it both ways. You can have tremendous popularity and success when you have a dominant team or 2 or 3. And you can also have it when there's great competitive balance. Currently, we have a circumstance and situation where the league is top-heavy in terms of championship contenders. But that won't last forever. And there will be a graduating back to a more competitive balance in time. So I think you enjoy the ride for what it is in the season and seasons that you have, whichever side of that coin you have.
Covington with the bucket.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the 76ers.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Joel Embiid.
Now, he was a problem on the glass today, relentlessly crashing the boards and came away with a bushel basket full of rebounds.
Here's Saric, and a little luck that time, but it drops.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
As well he should, Greg. I mean, he always is looking to score the ball, even more so when he's hot. I like the mindset.
McConnell with it. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us.